So conversion remains very, very stubbornly down after the last sort of 2 years or so. So the cost of living crisis has really, really pushed it down, and it's very stubbornly not going back up again. So it'd be really nice if we could work out some ways to try and push it back up again. So we're going to have a bit of a discussion about the checkout here. So Tom's joined us from Cashflows. Tom, what's your first tip?
Yeah, thanks. My first top tip is it's quite a broad one to start with, to be honest, and it could be its own topic in its own right. But it's making sure you're optimizing your checkout to meet your customers' expectations. A poor checkout experience means customers might not even get to that payment stage. Checkouts in themselves can be quite a significant area of friction for customers. And a general rule of thumb to keep in mind is that the more clicks a customer has to get through, they have to get through to pay, the higher chance is that they'll abandon the payment. So always try to keep the number of clicks, the number of pages down to as minimal as possible. On your checkout pages, you really want to be capitalizing on that impulse and that desire to purchase. The more barriers you put in that way, the more that sort of desire to purchase will just drain away. Some further tips here would be to ensure that your payment gateway supports like one-click payment capability for any of your returning or frequent customers, but also just to make sure that you're minimizing the number of fields you're asking for, minimizing the number of fields you're asking customers to populate, making use of auto population or pre-population and autofill as well, and use real-time data validation to help reduce the input errors. You don't want necessarily have the customer go through all of their checkout process or complete all of the form to then tell them there's been an error somewhere, and they've got to then go back through all of that data to try and figure out what they've done wrong. That's just gonna kill your conversion rate. Last but not least as well, consider asking or consider getting your customers to create an account after they've completed a payment. Telling them the benefits of why they should create an account once they've completed that payment process, like the ability to use one-clicks for faster purchases next time. Forcing a customer to create an account before they go through payment just creates way more friction, and puts a lot of customers off.
Okay, so make the checkout good is our what's your second tip?
Second tip, some online retailers are still overlooking the value of additional payment methods and the value that they can bring to their business. Customers have gotten used to having a choice of ways to pay on every channel and are loyal to their favorite payment type or payment method, meaning as a minimum, you really should be offering Apple and Google Pay across the board. Over 20 million people now use Apple Pay. So if you're not offering it, you're not really providing payment methods or a set of payment methods that customers want to pay with. Payment terms too can play a key role in conversion rates. Some customers prefer to split their payments over a number of installments rather than having to pay for everything up front in one big payment. I think generally as well, businesses are perhaps still hesitant to add payment methods due to a lack of knowledge, potentially misconceptions, or the need to actually do additional work in implementing them. But a good payments provider should be offering these payment methods as standard, and it should be a very simple switch-on process for them. If you are one of the customers that are offering multiple payment methods, try ensuring that you're displaying them in popularity order when it comes to payment, by shopper location when it comes to payment as well, because not all payment methods are going to be relevant to every customer, and forcing the customer to go through an entire list of payment methods, again, it's just going to create a barrier for conversion.
Okay, give them the way they want to pay. What's your third one?
Third one is taking advantage of payment data insights from your gateway or from your payments provider. This is the third tip, and it's often overlooked by a lot of businesses. Aside from the usual sort of total costs and sales values, there are many more insights that can be gained from looking and getting access to that payments data. For example, identifying returning customers to see what they're buying, see how long they're spending on your website, even if those customers are ever actually returning at all. Are some of those customers spending across channel? Where are they coming from? What's their location? What payment methods are they liking, or do they like to pay with? And which ones of your payment methods aren't as popular as others, for example? And average transaction values. Since you enabled a payment method, have your average transaction values gone up? This payments data is generally all contained within your payments gateway. So getting hold of that and using that payments data can really help optimize potential growth and really help with those conversion rates as well, because it gives you that insight to form that business strategy.
Okay, so you've got to do your homework, I'm afraid, folks. And the fourth one?
My fourth tip is seamless integration of payments as well. The fourth tip to consider is how the actual gateway itself is being integrated into the customer journey. A poorly integrated experience can reduce your payment conversion rate. There are some options to choose from. There's many options to choose from, in fact, but two very popular, well-known ones will be what we call a hosted payment page or an iframe-based payment page, and both of these come with benefits. It's important for you to consider the experiences of your customers moving through the checkout process, along with the needs of your business when deciding what's the best solution for you. Do you want and need that control because of the strength of your brand, or are you actually looking to promote your brand further? Perhaps there may be an iframe-based approach is better suited for you because you can then embed the payment piece directly within the checkout. Or do you find value in a easier integrated hosted payment page that you just plug in the back of your checkout, the back of your website, still leveraging not only your brand, but also leveraging some of that payment gateway, brand as well, to give the customers that confidence to purchase. These are all decisions that can really have an impact on conversion.
Okay, so put it together properly. And what's your final one?
The final one is the importance of payment gateway in terms of reliability, and not to underestimate that importance of reliability. Not just delivering a reliable service, although that is incredibly important, but in reliably releasing new features, new payment features as well. So you may have the greatest website, the greatest checkout experience in the world, but if your payment gateway, your payments provider keeps going down, or it's slow, and it doesn't offer the right technology, the right payment methods for your customers, then your payment conversion rate is going to be low. It's going to suffer. Since the pandemic and also the switch to online, not only are businesses dependent on online transactions a lot more, they're also more at risk of poor and inconsistent performance from those payment service providers. Being able to trust your payments provider will deliver the best service for you, keep downtime to a minimum, keeping transaction speeds high, and be able to cope with your growing business is crucial in maintaining your customers' confidence in you, which enables you to generate the loyalty and also then the repeat and returning customers as well. Finally, in a rapidly evolving market, payment methods are always changing, popularity is already changing. Make sure your payments provider is regularly releasing that new capability. Not everybody wants to pay with just a Visa or a MasterCard or an Amex card anymore. There are new ways to pay. It's an ever-evolving market, and your payment gateway, your payment service provider should be on top of that and should be releasing this capability to you.
Okay, make sure they can pay. Tom, thank you very much for your tips.
Thank you very much.